First, what we have going here is Apple's Blast from the Past. It's recorded with Brian Reiser and Bill Martens. And again, like I said, they're going to highlight all of the new Call Apple software and books that they have produced, along with some special announcements and surprises. And they won't be taking questions after that. So let's go ahead and roll the video.
Hi, I'm Brian Weiser. I'm here for another annual update for the Call Apple user group with all of the many things that Bill Martens and I do. And we've really been burning the midnight oil, and chances are we'll have some other updates since this is being recorded a week before KansasFest. But before I go into all that, I wanted to give my usual quick overview for newcomers. Our website, callapple.org, is the place to go for news and everything else we offer. Our user group was founded in 1978. We have a base level membership of $27.95 per year with higher levels, donate options. You've got access to our monthly magazine, Years of Legacy PDF magazines, software library, and Discord channel. We also run several other websites like applearchives.com, Beagle Bros repository, Applied Engineering, MECC, Virtual Apple, and Vintage is the New Old. You can sample our monthly magazine by downloading a free copy of our 40th anniversary as a PDF. And the magazine is a great resource with over 50 pages, color, articles, reviews, source code. And here are a few of our recent covers from this year. Our group has created a number of magazines over the years, Mac related, Apple II related, of course, available for members. And new for members, we've just released 4 more issues that we've tracked down and scanned for Mac APPLE and Mac Horizons back from the late 1980s. We also maintain our own store. This is separate from our bookstore. Here you'll find clothing and software and things of that nature. And here's a random sampling of some of the different things, t-shirts, mugs, and so forth. We are, of course, adding some GS Plus t-shirts and mugs since we are the official GS Plus magazine distributor. We also released the good old Apple Pascal poster and a couple of Beagle Bros posters from Vector Art. If you go to the software section of our store, the third-party software page looks like this, and recently we've released Star Fury from Rafael Rosenda. This is a digital download of the game and manual. In this one, you're the pilot of a high-speed space fighter, and the Earth is being attacked by an alien armada. Continuing on, he's released Droid Raid. Survive as long as possible while managing your robot's aero supply levels. And Raphael continues to have fun with Lunar Mission, which is a combination lunar lander and asteroid avoidance. The goal being to rescue the astronauts from the base on the moon. And last but not least from Rafael Rosenda is Super Contra. That's just barely being released. This is a helicopter battle where you need to fly into enemy territory, destroying land-based enemies, and frequently needing to refuel so that you can continue on your mission. Some games we distribute at no cost. The 3 Genius games from Danielle Liverani. Also Ring-a-Bon 2, although we do have a physical manual for sale on that, but the game itself is free to download. And Pong Reloaded. We recently made available our Lisa Quick Draw demo workshop, which has 3 Pascal programs demonstrating quick draw graphics on the Apple Lisa with annotated source code illustrating how quick draw is accessed through Pascal. So that's a very rare Lisa title. The Apple Software Protection Digest, we released this book a few years ago. We've just barely released a disc to go along with that collection of copy protection newsletters from Jules Gilder that has all of the programs featured in those newsletters. And that's available on the book discs category. We've also released our Legacy WordWeaver 3, which is a word processor for the Apple III. If you're a member, please log in, and on the software page you'll see a bonus icon there on the right for some free games and manuals. The first one is Caverns, which is a text adventure from Robert Vonk. Devil's Dungeon, which is considered to be the first RPG to be commercially available. Mission Mainframe. And lastly, Adventure 3, which is a modified version of Adventure. And those are all available at callapple.org/store. Now going to a different section of our website, callapple.org/books, that has a summary of all the books we've released. In December, we released the Nibble Disassembly Lines Volume 1 by Sandy Mossberg, who had one of the longest running columns in Nibble magazine. And this first volume focuses on DOS 3.3 with all of the disassembly lines articles that he wrote. It also features cover art that Nibble published by Robert Tinney that's actually been expanded from the original a little bit. The book is about 340 pages. There is a 3-disc set of all of the programs and source code available. The book has 30 articles covering the internals of DOS 3.3, the system monitor, RAM, the floppy disk system, ROM and RAM usage, and introduces many aspects of commands and internal system calls. And here's one of the pages with one of the cartoons that's in it, AppleSoft Line Finder, data conversion and diskette data transfer, AppleSoft's tokenization routine, list and line edit, hiding and unhiding programs and RAM cards, and of course, many code listings. But the fun doesn't stop there. We're just barely releasing Volume 2 of Disassembly Lines by Sandy Mossberg with some articles by Glenn Breeden because we have expanded this beyond the original release. It's about 520 pages. And here's what is contained in the 26 chapters. Internals of ProDOS, the Apple Mouse 2 auxiliary RAM, restoring deleted ProDOS files, how Basic System accesses the ProDOS machine language interface, and there's also a new ProDOS command strip that makes traversing subdirectories easier and faster. And here we have an introduction to ProDOS, talking about some file type differences and the commands. A technical overview of ProDOS, disk devices, date and time, some of the sample charts, and of course source code listings. And I definitely wanted to mention that neither of these editions would have been possible without the tireless efforts of John Snape, who did the majority of the work with the 2 Disassembly Lines volumes. And of course, we have 8 disk images available for purchase to complete all of those program listings. Next up is the WASPack 2. Now, I'm sure all of you have heard of the WASPack before, and our WASPack Extra Special Edition which is the most complete and definitive WASPAC at over 390 pages. This, the WASPAC 2, is a near 100% replica of the original 1979 release. That's the last time it was printed. It's intended for collectors who want to own this early work. The only difference is the back cover is new, and Val Golding has an introduction that he wrote in the magazine that has now been added to this as well. And it contains over 130 pages of Apple documentation. Everything's been carefully restored, and here you can see the scans of one of the code listings. And of course, a disk image is available for purchase with all of the programs. We've also released DOS Source 3.3, a physical book to go along with the code. This is by Randy Hyde, a prolific author you'd probably know from some of his Pascal and assembly language books. And this contains a disassembled listing of DOS 3.3. And he wrote the comments by studying the disassembled code. And it's about 154 pages with a disk image available. We've also released Exploring Business Basic for the Apple III, and this has 23 articles written by Taylor Pullman for Soft Talk magazine, and this is the first time in print. That's an example of what one of the Apple III basic listings would look like. And the chapters cover over 320 pages. This is just a few of the chapters. And some of the example pages, getting around in Business Basic, and some of the charts. And this is quite different, The Anatomy of an Amen Adventure by Bill Martens, with several contributing authors. This is something Bill has been working on for many years. Contains materials from all the Amen newsletters, giving users an understandable compilation of programming materials, expansions, fixes, and programming, Amen Adventures for DOS 3.3 and ProDOS, including sections on how the adventure system works and a list of all of the adventures to date, using the Dungeon Designer, and of course sample code are some of the chapters available. And now we have books we've released this year that are in second editions and also have color interiors. So, understanding the Apple IIe, this was our big release at KansasFest last year. In October, we released a second edition with a couple of small fixes that are available in a errata PDF. And it occurred to me that it would benefit from a few enhancements from the previous book, Understanding the Apple II. And so I've added Woz's foreword from that previous book, and also a technical conversation with Woz that Jim Sather put in that previous book. And those are bonus items in this edition. That tech conversation I did add into the freely downloadable table of contents PDF on the press release page. So if you bought a previous edition, you can read that. And of course, this book is fully remastered and goes into all the hardware specifics on the IIe. And also on Jim's bio, he had me add this quote: "I am deeply gratified that understanding the Apple IIe is appreciated to the extent that Brian and Bill would undertake the considerable effort to make it available to modern Apple II enthusiasts, wishing them success." And we're very grateful to Jim, who's been wonderful to work with and very supportive of the project. And of course, we have a disk image of all the programs available as well. In 2018, we released The Apple's Apprentice, which collects Roger Wagner's 3 magazines into one full volume. This second edition is now 140 pages. It's printed on standard color, which is much more affordable, with 80-pound coated paper. And the big bonus in this edition, beyond the wonderful color on every page, is the interview that I did with Roger in 2018, which he told me was the best interview he thought he had ever done. This is the first time in print, although I'm still planning to release the audio in podcast form. And he talks about things like magic, the pyramids, of course HyperStudio and Hyperduino, along with the making of things and a wish for the future. And these are a couple of the 12 pages. And a few samples from the rest of the pages in his issues. Cyberjack, The Adventures of Robert Clardy and Synergistic Software. We published this in 2017. This is Bob Clardy's autobiography. This is a brand new second edition with a full color interior. It's about 190 pages, and it showcases his development history with Synergistic, business and personal advice, and fun adventures with photos. And here he is with Roger Wagner and Woz hang gliding. He shares many programming perspectives in Tricks of the Trade, talks about how he became a software publisher, and of course shows color art for many of the products he released. Educational, not just games, and working with many third-party companies, such as Mastertronic and Sierra Online. He worked with Electronic Arts, Epix, Time Warner, many companies. And it's a wonderful autobiography, which also at the end summarizes the many things he has done with 17 pages of software credits at the end. The companion book is Synergistic Software, The Early Games, also a full-color interior, published in 2017, but this second edition includes 20 games now, which is 3 additional, and has 250 pages of scans of all the original manuals, complete with screenshots and cover art, and a 9-page foreword from Bob. And so there's a sample of the original cover for App Venture to Atlantis, and the title page that I designed to showcase the screen art. The summary page of the game that I designed on the left, and the scan of the original manual on the right. And a sample for what that looks like with the Bolo game. And next we have Nibble Viewpoints, Business Insights from the Computing Revolution. This is Mike Harvey's combination business advice / Apple history book that is essentially a compilation of all of his viewpoint editorials that he published in Nibble. This new second color edition, it's as much of an art book as it is a collection of his viewpoint editorials. It's about 520 pages, and he and I collaborated on this in 2016 over many months. It has over 45 pieces of his art, over 80 enhanced magazine covers, 23 cartoons, and a redesigned cover. The original cover is there in the top right. And here's some samples from the business advice section. Market-driven versus product-driven. The business advice is about 200 pages that guided all of his business decisions over the years. And the articles are grouped by subject. Acres of Diamonds. And here we have standards and policies. But I'll talk more about those later. I want to talk now about the history section of this book, beginning with Apple-related history. This section of the book is about 230 pages, showcasing his cover art and the covers from each issue that the Viewpoint editorial features. There's a piracy section. There's a Nibble history section. And some fun cartoons by Sandy. and of course a Mac section because he did release Nibble Mac. And it concludes with a personal experiences section, which adds about 50 pages from the original edition. The first part is my friendship with Mike and developing the book with him. Next is an interview that I did with Mike in 2016, 19 pages. And it concludes with Mike's 2016 presentation to KansasFest. The entirety of that presentation he gave that he asked me to collaborate on with him beforehand. And that's a photo at KansasFest that I took when he received his Apple II Forever Award. And of course it concludes with the timeline of everything that Nibble did. And I just want to say, I wish Mike was alive to see this edition. I did this for him, and it's been a very personal experience for me that I've been working on over the last 6 months. And part of that personal experience is finally releasing Navigating the Business Maze by Mike Harvey. This is the first time in print. It's about 250 pages, and it has a similar cover to Nibble Viewpoints because this takes the business advice and splits that off into its own standalone book to target the business market. And the title came from Mike, inspired by his cover art. And I'll just quickly go through the different business advice sections that's in both books. Starting your business, marketing, service, development, and growth. And the advice can apply to people at any level, or as Mike said, these are worthwhile lessons for entrepreneurs aspiring to start their own enterprises and for just about everyone who depends on human interaction to try to accomplish worthwhile goals. These are all available at callapple.org/books. And just remember, if you go to the top post on our website, there is a link in there that will give you the latest Lulu coupon. Lulu and our website are the best way to support us and our authors and get the best price for yourself as well. Now I want to quickly summarize some of the books that are still in progress. The Penguin Comprehend and Graphics Magician Painter 2 is progressing, close to being done. The Castle Dane Complete Walkthrough, Moto Magician 6, Big Mac 3, which is a macro assembler for the Apple III. And we also have a PDF catalog available summarizing all of our products available at callapple.org/catalogs in our Discord channel, or you can just go to our website and browse around. And there is, of course, one more thing, and it occurs to me that suddenly there came a tapping as of someone gently rapping at someone's chamber door.
KansasFest? What are you doing in my bedroom, KansasFest? I mean, I knew that you missed me, but oh, you're here for the announcement of the GS Plus Volumes 4 through 7 bundle from Call Apple, aren't you? Yes, it's true. Call Apple now has every issue of GS Plus magazine and disc available in PDF format and, well, I guess disc format. You can purchase them right now, as far as I know. That's what they said before they left. I don't mind. I don't care. I just wish everybody loved me for something I was doing now, and not just all the things I did 30 years ago. But it's okay. I get a cut. So go and get it right now, why don't you? Just get out of here. Go get it. Go get your GS Plus magazines. That's all you ever loved me for anyway. I mean, it was great. with funny articles and reviews, really good reviews. We really put our heart and soul into those reviews. Oh, and the programs. Such good programs. But source. We were open source before anyone else. Do I get any credit for that? No. No, it's all Linus Torvalds this and Bill Gates that and Gern Blanston this. You've never heard of him either. I might have made him up. Anyway, go right now. Go to the Call Apple website or wherever the heck it is you go these days to get your fix, KansasFest. I know you. Oh, I know you. You can't, yeah, you'll be back. I don't have any more magazines, but you'll be back for some reason. I'll be ready.
Thanks again, Diz. It's good that you put up with all of us. We did release the complete GS Plus Part 1 last year, and Part 2 does complete the collection of all the GS Plus issues. These are the last 19 issues. Of course, all of the disc images are available as well, and Bill and I have really been working hard to get all of these fully remastered for you. All of the magazines have been rescanned, all of the art has been enhanced. All the original ads, the text is completely retypeset and reformatted. We wanted to make it as perfect as possible for a wonderful publication. And here are a few of the remastered sample pages. There's about 50 pages per magazine issue. And a sample of the table of contents and the top things to do at the KansasFest way back in the 90s. Probably hasn't changed much. As Diz mentioned, they did have wonderful reviews and technical articles like A Beginner's Guide to Finder 6.0 and fun sections, Rumors, Wishes, and Blatant Lies, and of course legacy ads like one here from Roger Wagner. And actually, there is just one more thing. Yes, it's true, your eyes are not deceiving you. A brand new official GS Plus issue, Volume 8, Number 1, July-August 2025. And it's currently over 130 pages. I'm not done putting it together. It will be available in print and digital. And we've got a new interview with Diz, a new writer's block. Of course, the writer's block he originally intended to publish with Volume 7, Number 1, and a new color logo. Humor, of course, persists, as you can see on the cover. We've got some new articles, a new one from Antoine Vignow, and all of the disc readmes that were never in print before, a complete glossary, a complete index. It's in progress, and our goal is to have this released in the next month. I was tempted to release it for this KansasFest, but we thought, no, let's make it extra special and give it a little more time to flourish. And here are a couple of the pages, a new t-shirt ad, obviously inspired by the original, and a sample of the README, the very important README section from the discs with one of his legacy photos. That original writer's block, Antoine's article, the post-1994 miraculous timeline of things that have happened to the GS since GS Plus stopped publishing originally, our extremely complete GS Plus glossary, many documentation files, and index. And that concludes today's broadcast from callapple.org. Stay tuned, consider becoming a member and reading our magazine and supporting our other efforts. We never seem to stop creating things. Sometimes I wish we would, but I guess we're having too much fun. And while I normally conclude with something like Apple II forever, considering all of those second editions and revisiting the past, I wanted to conclude with Mike Harvey, Bob Clardy, Roger Wagner, forever. Thank you. Cheers.
Excellent. Well, that was a fantastic talk by Brian Weiser, and Bill Martens is, of course, also part of the Call Apple team, and we need to get him on those videos as well. But thanks for showing us all those cool new products. And I was saying in the chat that I have several of the Call Apple books, and they are phenomenal and
Unbelievable.
just so, I mean, the fact that the print is usually larger than the original books is actually excellent as well, and especially given our
aging eyes.
perhaps
Yeah.
aging eyes. Yes, that is wonderful. So yeah, thanks to Call Apple for all the work that they do to kind of resurrect some of those old titles, and and also we don't have to go out on eBay and spend hundreds of dollars to find a WazPack book.